to be discussing my future endeavors, namely this motorcycle, which is a motorcycle, if you have a good imagination. So this all started back on January 3rd, 2020, when we saw this ad for 3 non-running YZ450Fs of 2007, 2008, and 2009 year models. Saw the ad, kind of laughed it off, and then started thinking about it, and for the price of $2,000, it seemed like a pretty good deal. The more I thought about it, the more for each bike would be about a $650 buy-in. Is not bad. It's a pretty good buy-in for 450s, which sell in Texas because everything's bigger in Texas. So we finally contacted the guy, and he was very quick to respond. Told us a couple things about him. They'd been sitting for many, many years in his shed, which actually turned out to be a storage container, but whatever. And then, various things like, why the 07. The 07 was the only one that was still fully put together, and that was the one that he had acquired most recently because the person who gave it to him for mechanics work said it was shooting blue smoke out. And he had acquired all of these bikes because people had given them to him and never came back for them. So they were just sitting there. Each thing was labeled and tagged with what was wrong with it, what motorcycle it went to, allegedly, and other things like that. And so, the more we talked to him, the more genuine he seemed, and his name was Buford, and he lived in Louisiana. It was a 5.5-hour drive. But, me and my dad just were like, you know what? Let's take a gamble. So we packed up and my dad brought me, my mom, and Laura, and we went and we looked at the bikes. And it was definitely an interesting experience. There was a lot of overwhelming smell of rat pee, which was, great. And we just kind of, we were talking about the bikes and the story that he had, which is basically the same thing I'm telling you all. They sat for a number of years and he just doesn't have any money or time to work on them. And, we were talking with him, and he told us he hadn't got much interest in them, and people were just lowballing in prices at, $1,000, which is like $330 a bike, which is just ridiculous. And so we were just talking to him, and he said he's had various ads up for the same bikes for months and just no serious interest. And so we were just talking, we were like, well, would you take $1,500 for him? And he said, yeah. And so we bought 3 YZ450Fs for $500 a pop, and we started loading everything up. And this is the picture of everything loaded up in the truck, which just barely fit. And this guy was throwing in everything that he could find. Chains that didn't have master links that ended up being a wild goose chase trying to find a master link for. Plastics for 1999 YZ400s and Kawasaki dirt bikes and just all this random stuff. But we took it because why not? Then we made the 5.5-hour drive back home. Kind of assessed and put every bike in a cart, just like this. This one has sat since that day. But now, we're going to start working on it. And the first bike I worked on was in 2007. I just, did a complete rebuild. Brand new crankshaft, brand new main bearings, brand new transmission bearings, everything, just completely brand new. This is what it looked like. We liked it. It looked great. I wish I'd gone with the white plastics, though. That was the one thing that we wish we had done. And that's what we did with the 2008, which you can see here. We basically did all the same things, except that the crankshaft was actually in really good shape, and so we saved a lot of money there. But the profit margins were pretty good. We were making some good money, but the problem was I was robbing some parts. And even though it was probably not a great idea, I robbed a couple parts, and because of that I'm having to spend more money on the 2009. And also, the biggest issue was this bike did not have front forks. The Buford, when he sold them to us, said that they were so mangled and destroyed that he just threw them out, which sucks because forks are really expensive. And so I already knew that this bike was going to be an expensive project, and I toyed with the idea of just parting it out. But honestly, it just came down to the fact that the reward is worth the sacrifice. And if I only make $200 or $300, who cares? I get to go through this great, incredible journey of taking a bike that looks like that and making it look like brand new off the showroom floor. And to me, that's worth more than making, a couple $100 more parting it out and having to wait that long to, get all the parts sold and for people to buy them. And so that's where we are today. We're, ordering parts and waiting for everything to get here. And shipping times are kind of scary right now. But, yeah, we're getting into it, and I'm excited to take you guys along the journey with me, because I've had a lot of fun doing this, but I've picked up a lot of things that I feel that it's my job to share. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to share everything that I've learned and everything that I can do to help you guys rebuild bikes yourselves, because sending it to a shop is way too expensive and not worth it. And I'm going to save you guys money, and we're going to get through this together. We're going to fix it together. I'm going to share every aspect of this, from the budget to ordering parts, what parts I got, what I chose over what, everything. And I'm going to help you guys do the best work that you can for yourselves at home in your garages. So I hope you'll come along with the journey with me, and I can't wait to get started.